Good afternoon. Oh no, it's afternoon. It's 8 o'clock.
8:05.
Oh boy. So yeah, issues with StreamYard, and so we're having to do a little bit differently. Where Jacqueline is literally talking and she's muted on the screen. So, Jax.
Hi. Yeah, you can see that I'm muted. Unfortunately, probably for some people, but here I am.
StreamYard's been acting weird, and for some reason it's not letting everything, but it's echoing so bad, and it's hard for you. A huge lag and delay, so we just figured this would probably be recording. And thank God we can kind of just figure things out later. But yeah, Alex, we are going to be going over the talks about that team down south. We're actually going to be talking about both and the Utah Valley game, just to wrap everything up and the regular season, so that way we can focus on WAC Vegas.
I cannot believe that it's already here, and I have not even started packing tomorrow after work. So, yay!
I haven't started packing either. I would start after we finish this podcast because I literally my bedroom. That's as far as I've gotten.
I gotta get packed before tomorrow evening because that's when I'm driving to NAC so that we can get up to Houston. So I got a lot of work to do, guys.
Same. All right. Well, hey, you know what? Let's get it rolling. I needed this a lot on Friday night.
We'll get there. Speaking of, do you have a drink?
No, I didn't. You know what? I'm gonna Austin East Cider, of course. No, I know. I'm just gonna tough it out and dog in it with nothing to drink, because I want to feel my absolute degenerate that I am. Hi, Scotty.
He was in my lap a minute ago, and then I sneezed like 7 times in a row, and he was super. Now he's back.
Hi, Corey Blandford. You world travel. How's West Palm Beach, you son of a...
Find us some sugar daddies down there.
No, I had an event. And when I say eventful, I mean I woke up late and was late for my hair appointment. Yesterday's Fredonia Brewery 6th birthday celebration, literally 11:30 in the morning till past 11:30, and so it was a long day. And then I went and got my hair done today, Vegas, and so I'm literally in hermit mode.
I love it. So I had a long day today too, but Corey, ready for us because we're coming. We're coming. I had a long day today too. SFA college night, although it wasn't a night because it was a noon game. They did lose, unfortunately. However, I'm not a Mavericks fan. It was something to do. It was actually my friend Addie's first Mavericks game because whenever we had that huge freeze, and so she wasn't able to go. We went to the SFA game with the Dallas Mavericks. It was a good game. It was a fun day. Turnout. Joey was there. I mean, it was a fun day.
Mr. Budgets was there. Yes. Well, I'm that you enjoyed the game even though the Mavericks lost. Nice, enjoyable day away from Tyler.
I should have been doing here, but
I know. I've literally Like I got home and I just started reading and I'm kind of to do laundry, packing. Like I want to go to Vegas.
I don't either, and I just can't.
No.
I feel like in my mind, I don't feel like we should already be here, and then for like 2 weeks, like I just feel behind on everything. So I'm like, I have to work and then drive to next.
Yeah, it snuck up on us for sure. I know.
Thank you.
All right. Well, because we have to go over 2 games, let's just go ahead and rip off the Band-Aids. Unfortunately, the last couple against 2 of the most, I guess, impressive and so those 2 games were pretty rough on us. Talk about the first one. So we played Sam Houston State, potentially the last time in conference. But, not sure if we'll ever play a non-conference game, which we may, but that's. But anyway, so we played Sam Houston at home, the last home on Wednesday, March 1st. And just for one last time, talking about Sam Houston and our history and background.
History it is. So going into the game, 5 wins and 48 losses going in. So we were ahead and our the largest margin of victory we've had, and that was on March 8th of 2004. The smallest margin was by 1 point, 67-66, and that was on January 2012. Our last matchup against them, January 19th of this year. Alex and I went down there. But they beat us 71-70 on the road, and not a setup, the lesser of the Johnson Coliseums, but
no, it wasn't. But what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? I'll hold off on talking about the wax. Talking about UVU, basically what the seedings are going into WAC Vegas. So we'll just.
Sounds good. I feel like Dr. Evil sitting here stroking my cat.
It's freaking freezing in here, Mr. Bigglesworth.
For this game against Sam Houston at home was Eric, Rati, and Nigel. Of course, it was senior night. We had Rati and Nigel starting. We did lose 64-59 in overtime battle.
It really was. It really was.
So our attendance was 4,189. To Sean Kennedy's stat section.
I would like to say the crowd at that game finally came out for the finally had an amazing crowd, and it was loud and it was a great environment, but I just wish we would have had that all season. That's all.
Me too. All right, so for Sean, had field goal percentage 32%. Our 3-point percentage was an abysmal 13.6. Our free throws were 66.7%. Points off turnovers, 18. Second, 8. Fast break points, we had 18. Our bench points, we did have a fair amount of rebounds, but also it was an overtime game. We had 41 rebounds, 10 offensive, and 31 defensive. We had 17 fouls. I will say we had, so not the worst. We had 8 blocks. Our game leaders, we had Nigel with double-double, rebounds, and 2 steals. And then we had AJ with 19 points, 1 steal.
So, player of the game.
Had to be our boy Nigel on his senior night. Had a great
100%. Nigel played lights out. Even though Nigel still played like his ass was on fire and really carried the team on his back. Him and AJ both. I mean, if there was a second place, it would obviously be AJ with his 19 points. I mean, he played fantastically as well. But yeah, it didn't go our way this time or the time prior. The Bearcats, and of course, they're not going to let us live that down, and they continue to. We are beneath them, and that they're glad that they're moving to a new conference. They've been dominating us in sports for the past X amount of years, and to be fair, I'm like, listen, you just recently became good in basketball. This is a recent development. It's not like you've been, kicking our ass in basketball for a way around. This is the first season. A little bit last, like decent. So just get off your high horse, all right? For God.
The ESPN announcers that really play right now. The ESPN announcers in the last game, not at all. They said Putin's done a lot except take his team to the tournament.
It's so true. Win this season, the WAC Vegas tournament, and go to the tournament. I just need you to shut up. And until you can do that, all the haters to just be quiet in the peanut gallery and just zip.
Best of luck in Conference USA.
See you later, baby. Anyway, so this was like a really good game, regardless of the fact that we did lose. It was a absolute barn burner from the beginning to the end. Back into it. There was at no point where we took them to overtime. A really good Sam Houston almost won. Obviously, almost doesn't count. Only anyway. So it's just one of those unfortunate. Basketball is you come so close and you scratch and claw and you take a team to overtime and you just can't finish, and it's rough and it's difficult.
Yeah, and you know what else? We both said this the whole game, and multiple other people did too. Like the way that we were playing based on how we normally play, and the fact 3 players, which we'll get to, and then still hanging in there to the point that we. Amazing. Yeah,
Sam Houston wasn't on their best game. And yeah, like you said, we were down multiple players, and them pretty much the majority of the game. And so it's just kind of speaks volume, and the no quit attitude this team has, going conference foe like Sam Houston, who's been playing really well all year. They've been playing well all year, and but yeah, so let's talk about the good stuff then.
So let's start. I hate that him and Rati ending in that whole game for their senior game, but what a senior send off game.
No, I agree.
Lead scorer, double, amazing for him to have. He had some really great threes, 2 steals. He played great. I also have specific notes on him. He had a shot after a BS tie ball, should have been foul, and he was heavily guarded. He had a steal off of the inbound. What else? I made a note on. Great.
I agree. Both of his 3-pointers were at pretty important and He had 2 steals. Those 2 steals were beautiful. He was in foul trouble, but that didn't stop him one little lick. He was playing like his ass was on fire. And like this was his last game. And William, love watching Nigel play in the past X amount. I can't remember how long. It seems like he's been on our team for 8 years. Not been 8 years. And so I've been thoroughly enjoyed watching him. Honestly, can't wait to see what he does next. He's a player. He always has a positive attitude. He's like that, he's there when you need him to be. He's really hard worker. He's a grunt. He's a workhorse. And so really play. And I just really, really, really hope that we in Vegas and keep going and keep their season going, specifically for
me too. And so on that note, he only scored 4, which is not up to what he he played great as well. He had a great drive and one. He was 2 of 3 from his free throws.
4 rebounds.
He only had 1 foul. So for only having 1 foul, he played great too. And we've said before, like a great game doesn't just go over stats, and he played great as well. So
yeah, I couldn't agree more. Love Rati as well. I mean, he's played with us for technically. He's been with us through some really, really, of course, some lows, and him getting injured obviously took a lot of wind out of his sails a little bit. But we're just glad that he was senior year and be that that just like with Nigel, someone the guys can look up to, can learn from. Quiet assassin. Like he'll have games where he has great defensive games where he's absolutely killing everyone, 3s, 2s. He can do it. He is a utility player, just like, guys. I mean, he can literally hit from anywhere. When he's hot. And same thing with Rati, like with Nigel. I really hope that keep playing if that's what he wants to do past SFA. After this year, he just continues to be love them both. Seniors, gonna be sad to see them go. I hope that we can see them play a few more times in Vegas before the season is officially over, because they deserve it. They've worked hard. They've worked really, really hard. They've gone through a shit ton of adversity. And so really, really proud of them for sticking through it and possible, especially going through all the stuff that we've gone through.
I could not agree more. Let's talk about.
Can we talk about this guy real quick? My boy, my background
page. I have so many notes on him, and let's say I didn't listen, but he was the 3rd lead scorer with 13 points. For him, he had a great steal and a layup. He literally took a 3 that I'm going to say it was from west of Abilene. He was literally standing on the Texas in the half court of where Abilene is. Like, that's how far out he was. But we love to see it when it happens.
He was 100% with his free throws. That 1 3 his only 3, but damn, what a 3 was it? I mean, it should how far back it was, honestly. Yeah. He had 3 steals, all 3 of the momentum shifters that, really kind of ignited the team. And then shockingly, he only had 1 personal foul. I'm sorry, no. Yeah. He's so wild. Like there's some games where he'll have like 5, he'll leave the game, and then there's some games that he won't have any or 1. only had one, and I am just abundantly shocked that he only had one.
Me too. Especially with the defense we play. We've talked about. Yeah, 8 for 8 from the free throw line.
Yep.
Amazing.
I mean, majority of his points all came from free throws. So he honestly. What now? Sorry.
No, I take that back. The free throws, the 1-3 and 1-2.
Yeah, I mean, he is. I feel like he's Mr. Anytime there's a he's usually the one stepping up to take it 100%. Yeah. I'll have to check when we do our wrap up for the whole season podcast and see what his final. I'm sure it's pretty freaking high. It has to be. If it's not, I'd be shocked, honestly. Next up, who are we talking about?
Let's talk about AJ because he was our second point.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't make any threes, but he was 5 of 11, 9 of 12 from the free throw line. He even had 4 rebounds. Shortest dude on the team.
He had 3 assists in there as well. And shockingly, only 2 personal fouls. Again, another guy hard defense. I mean, literally, I've mentioned this about course. He's down there in your face constantly, and the fact that he only had two.
Yeah, he took some specific notes I have on him. He took towards the end of regulation. He had in the backcourt off of their inbound, and then had the most beautiful reverse layup.
He is like one of the only guys on the team, a couple guys on the team, and he's one of them that he just is like, or with these reverse layups, like he literally just throws the ball over his head, like just tosses it in that reverse. Times out of 10 it goes in, and I just don't know how. I don't know how, because they're wild acrobatic shots.
Yeah, I agree. So just a general come out of halftime hot.
We did
3. Then we had several turnovers, but then an amazing block. Then Nigel had a fast break and a late. So we did come out strong after that. Jalil had a great.
He did. And, and clutch there, especially in that towards the end of that second half and into over. He played for 23 minutes. That might be the most he's played. And we really, really needed him, especially after what happened with Nana. So, I mean, we outscored Sam Houston in the second half. I mean, we outscored 7, which obviously led to overtime, and we just obviously couldn't hold on there in overtime. But wow.
Yeah, we tried our best. So Robbie played really great.
He had 7 rebounds. He's like a rebound machine, dude.
7 rebounds. I mean, the only one who beat him in rebounds 37 minutes. He only played 27.
Yeah, exactly. There is just something hardwired into Robbie that, like, anytime he sees the ball come, like, he's literally diving for it. He could be over the back call, but like he dives for those balls. Playing the most extreme game of don't let it hit the floor ever.
Is it when you're in elementary, there's like a game like things like that? That's what it makes me think of. You know what I'm talking about?
Of course, yeah.
Jose, damn Sam Houston. Yes, listen, I have on my grievances, but we'll get there. See y'all in Vegas. The invite
If Jose's coming to Vegas, this just took a wild turn.
I mean, honestly, with Solo, it's like a 50 going either way.
That's true. It's true. He'll be like, yeah, I'm coming. Or he'll be like, no, I'm not going to come. And then literally he'll be like, hey, guys, I'm in the lobby.
Those guns blazing, like, I'm at your door.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, Bobby, times, but what I love about him the most is, like, he is on 100 all the time.
Constantly.
At the very end of overtime, when we were foul, the ball gets thrown in and passes before the dude gets fouled. Not even Robbie's dude. But here comes Robbie running. Like he's gonna come and make sure that we get that foul.
He had a moment. And you know, as soon as I tell you, you're gonna start laughing again because I remember exactly at what point. I don't know if it was the first half or the second half. I don't remember. What matters is he makes this ridiculous layup. And he just literally immediately on, when people are starting to go, immediately comes down off the layup and just turns and looks at the freaking bench and just tongue out Gene Simmons.
It's the Robbie version.
It was. It 100% was. And I literally, when he did that, but then I also said, holy shit, is this the second coming? And I just, in my brain, I was thinking that because would have done, and he has done that. And so I'm like, my God, is Robbie champion? Is he about to have a breakout game and just absolutely dominate everybody?
I know.
That would be great. I would love that. I think everybody else would love that too. I can't wait for a full season of healthy,
full tilt Robbie.
Going crazy, acting a fool from him towards the end of this season, like going full tilt. Wait.
And you know what? My last note on him is last pass we had in overtime. He actually had a great full inbound if it hadn't have hit the bottom of the scoreboard.
You're right. I remember that. Yeah.
Other than that, it was great. It's hard to make a full court inbounds pass.
It's true. It's going to get intercepted. So it's a good point. All right. Unfortunately, moving on to the hate and hate to love.
Begins with the airing of... I got a lot of problems with you people. Now, you're going to hear...
Well, Jacqueline?
So let's start with the most serious and somber note to get it out of the way. The most major grievance was that Nana got hurt. And
yeah.
Anyone who knows me well knows this. Or any kind of medical or injury related type thing ever to it's bad enough, but like with the it's just worse because it's we have a personal connection. We hang out with them or we're friends with them, but like we're on this season and it's just different and like pretty anxious going into this game.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I like felt physically ill. Like,
yeah,
we did. It was just. It's all so weird. It's still. As we didn't even notice that anything had happened because there were other things going on in the position point, and it wasn't even obvious that something had happened.
Mm-hmm.
But then, like for me, it was like and I don't. this, but some guys will take a little bit longer to get up sometimes. You know what I mean?
Right.
But Nana's not that clear. Like, up and be like, I'm fine, I'm good, whatever. So the fact that he was
lying there deathly still, just moving.
Like, we got a problem. And it was, and even like when I always rewatch the game, like the last 3 minutes of the first half, I was getting that possession was coming, and like I just didn't want to watch it. But yeah, no, it was just whatever. It was bad. And at this point, Rob has said the other night during the game that he's had surgery. He said all has gone well, but we just hate it. I mean, get injured, period. But like, especially at this point, because I know at the very least he would love to at least be in Vegas to be. He's worked for this all season, and it's. For example, if Day Day doesn't get to play, that sucks too. But at least he can.
Mm-hmm.
So it sucks.
Yeah. Very scary situation, because once we all took a breath and this is actually more than just him hitting the floor and a minute to get up, like the wind got knocked out of him or something, like this was a more serious situation. It was just very scary because we just didn't know what was going on. It could have been a myriad of things. And of course there's, people that were speculating. And honestly, I mean, we don't exactly know what happened. We may never know. And until Nana or the athletic what happened, and this is what we did to help, fix it on this. Everybody, please just quit fucking asking. I'm tired of questions, and I'm sure Jacqueline is too. I mean, because we don't know. And even if we did know, I'm not gonna freaking tell you people. So
yeah,
a player got injured. He is a good boy, and I'm not about to go blasting his business on or spreading, half truths about his situation, because that's not mine to tell. So.
And this is what talks about this kind of stuff, because the chatter in the different a good place, because everyone just wants to know if he's okay and want to know what's happening. But the fact of the matter is, yeah, it's his personal, it's his body, it's his personal news at whatever time he chooses and whatever forum he chooses. So send him your best thoughts, prayers, whatever your and in the meantime, Kay's calling. Thanks, Sam Houston.
Kay's not wrong. It happens out of whenever we play Sam Houston games. Something always happens. So I
trying to make light of it, and that aspect's not.
Yeah, no, like play or hit or whatever it was that made just trying to make a joke, but all not. If you're concerned about him, go on Twitter, go to Nana Ghana and tweet him happy tidings and well wishes and all that he needs to see and hear right now, and not questions on Vegas. Are you going to play stop? Just enough.
I'm sure while he's resting, he will love to see tweets, well wishes, and good thoughts, and whatever. Whether you're religious or not religious or whatever, just some encouraging support.
So that was my grievance. Obviously, not getting hurt, but also the fact that I'm trying to figure out the, Yeah,
it comes from a good place. It does, but.
So that's my grievance. So yeah, Dennis missing some pieces. Absolutely. I mean, it's very hard whenever you see, not with an injury. You see Day not playing because of a ongoing, and of course that's a major grievance, and it's not anything to do. I'm not mad at him or upset at him at all. I mean, he's been literally out all season with a shoulder injury, constant. Like, there hasn't been a single game all season where he hasn't been in a freaking 2 shoulder braces. So, I mean, or upset at the fact that he is or is not playing, or to be to get your priorities freaking straightened out. Because I'm sorry, I'd rather lose rather than have him get injured even more because he's trying to go in when he shouldn't be.
Yeah, because here's the thing. The fact of the matter of it is this. And season, that's his body for his entire life. I don't want to one season if it's going to cause him long-term damage to his shoulder.
I mean, yeah, do we want to win? Absolutely. Does Day freaking Luli? You think he wants to sit on the sidelines? Have you seen the guy?
And I'm saying that more to him
Yeah.
than to a spectator. Like, no, I want to play, and it's like, we appreciate that, but if it's gonna hurt you worse, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
And you know what's the other part that I feel like that game is, I can't imagine like the mindset of all the rest of the guys having to play the rest of that game after. Even for us, after seeing wheelchair, like just watching the rest of the game was hard. Can you imagine if that's like playing with all season and you watch that happen and then you have to get your mind right to play the rest of this game? Like,
that's rough. Very rough. You have to, the mental fortitude that a student have in 2023 is, you have to.
It's tough.
But it's
like,
tough.
Definitely, in my years of playing, I never had a teammate hurt ever. Like, I mean, we had minor things here and there, but nothing like that. Imagine like continuing a game after seeing one of my girls. Like, I would not be okay.
No, I really scary moment, and you know, talking about it, but yeah, I mean, if the 2 biggest grievances from the Sam Houston game and on is I just feel bad that those 2 guys have hustled all season. The fact that, Nana for sure is done, like there's no way, and that Day again potentially is done. What he's gonna do or not do in Vegas, he posted and seems, I don't know.
We know that he would do what Jacoby and Keller say, but
that's the only thing I grieve about for them is the fact that they, regardless, it's their season was kind of cut. Most important part of the season at the end when, we're going to whack. That's just the main thing I feel bad about. And if Day decides to play and if allow him to play and approve him to play, I need everyone into a prayer circle, light some voodoo candles, some sage their home, whatever you do in your current location. Tuesday night, let's see if it's 6 o'clock time in Central. Whatever you need to do to make that, please just say some prayers. Any further, for the love of God.
agree. Let's talk about actual game stuff. In the meantime, y'all just send thoughts, words, whatever on Twitter to Nana, and I'm sure he'll love to see all We love you, Nana.
Nana from Ghana.
The mayor.
The mayor. Feel better, buddy.
My general complaints was I feel like we had a lot of traveling bounds.
Oof, yeah.
And I'm like, this is your home court. It's the same size and location it's always been. It's like multiple times. I think most of our turnovers were either travel.
Yeah, and we did have more turnovers. Honestly, it felt like there were way more, but as of I mean, for goodness sakes, sometimes when you're watching the game, it just seems like there's more than what there are. But they definitely out-rebounded us. Oh, no, we had shit. Never mind. I read the wrong stat. We had the same number of offensive ones than we did, but I digress. The events I also have to, other than the fact that our points in the paint were down, and our second chance points, 8. Man, we could not get a second chance points to save our life, man.
We got to get more offensive second chance points, unfortunately.
I know. That's just, it's like, I'm just like, and it just, I get down into the paint, and that's hard because when you're losing, when you don't have Day, the two main dudes down there in the paint, that's what we're going to get worked down there, unfortunately, and that's just sucky.
Very. So I have 2 referees at the same time. It was a BS call whenever JVL May undercut him and they called a travel. On the opposite direction, they called a foul on Nigel. Not consistent.
No.
Second, and we said, so when I watched it back, I paid extra attention to make sure that we were correct. And I'm going to try to chalk this up to the referees being Nana getting injured and taken off and all the lag time on that. Foul call, because when Nana went down, they called a foul on us. Wasn't on the shot, so it should have only been a 1. They were just in the bonus, and they gave him 2 shots. I don't understand.
I will also add referee grievance. How, in the love of God, decide to change the call midway through the call? Like, what makes you do that?
When he called the charge, and then he changed after he blew the whistle, and then he changed this.
Like midway through him doing for the he stops midway and goes meh. I'm like, whole.
He did a full pelvic thrust, and I'm like,
so wild, and the entire stadium erupted. It was the complete wrong call. I just don't understand. I like what you. That just boggles my mind completely. But that's, again, what are you gonna do with? Other grievances I have, obviously, that 3-point percentage was just, it makes my eye twitch. It's like horrid. 13%, 3 out of 22. Oh, God. Oh.
And the fact that we still shot 22 of them, like,
just keep trying. We could not hit the broadside of a barn, I tell you what. Just keep swimming, baby. Oh, that was just rough to watch. Rough to watch, because let me tell you, we had some decent looks, but man, oh man, not want to go down at all.
I have to make one really fast.
Go ahead.
If Scott Gordon's watching, yes, I'm drinking while I do this podcast. That I'm not getting paid to do and is not affiliated with SFA. One drink on this podcast. I'm 36 years old. I can have a drink if I want.
Back. What a throwback to last season.
I promise. Okay. I don't know why that just popped in my head, but I had to do it.
No, you're good. Okay, some more grievances. Next game.
My last two were about the overtime.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the first one's the main problem. First of all, right at the beginning of overtime, right off the gate, let them get a 3. And we lost by 5, so there's 3 of the 5 points. And then, right after we let them get the 3, we let them get a steal on our first offensive possession. So, right. Then AJ drove in, and he was right there. And he passed it out, and I'm like,
he literally chunked it behind him. Ooh, he just threw it behind him willy-nilly, like he there on our team to just be like, the ball, it's mine.
I gotta use a t-shirt quote from anyone who watches Jersey Shore. We didn't come this far just to come. You drove all that way, you gotta go all the way. To come this far, you gotta put it up.
Just finish it. Like, ask it. Just honestly, at that point, put it up, and there's foul, buddy, because you drove in. There was multiple Sam Houston, and they were flapping away. So I mean, what are you gonna do? It was just a split-second decision. He just made the wrong choice in that moment. It ended up, obviously not saying that moment cost us the game, but it didn't help.
He'd already messed it up.
Oh yeah. But that was just as soon as that happened, I was like, well, shit.
All right, Gordon, we love you.
Yeah, I know. Rough one too. Okay, so one word to describe the game, Jack. Sayonara, you sucker.
Let the door hit your ass on the way out.
Split you where the good Lord split you, I swear. Typical. I feel like that was just when I say typical, I mean the final game we play against Sam Houston State as conference rivals. Like, it's going to be an overtime game. It's going to be a barn burner. It's going to be absolutely ridiculous. Going to be bad calls, injuries. It was insane. And why are we not shocked? And of course, they get the upper hand on us. Typical. We hear nothing but just absolute ragging. So
all I gotta say is they're gonna repeat that till the end of the last game at our place.
That's all they got.
Y'all just remember, and we're ahead.
Yeah.
50 to 48, if my memory. Wait, I'm sorry. 55 to 49.
Oh, but they're gonna hang that over our heads that they beat our heads. Shush.
They are.
Woo, okay. Sucked every other time that we played you. Anyway. We talked about the Nana injury. We already talked about Day. This wasn't the last game of the season. Sam Houston, there was one more Friday night. So this past Friday in Orem, which Houston game was rough to talk about. This game will. So, you know what? Let's just rip the Band-Aid off, people.
All right. So, not a whole lot of background here because literally First time we played them was last season. That's the other time we played them. One win, because last matchup was February 3rd of last season, 59 at home. So both seasons, we've only played them one time. And then
this is our second time playing them, right? Or third time? Yeah.
one.
Yeah. I have a lot of experience playing them, and obviously A, that shows, and B, well, I'll just save that. I'll just save. All right. So do you want me to do the standings now?
Whatever you want. I guess the end, because we can talk about going.
Let's just do that. So we'll skip ahead and go into the notes and the stats.
So this game, we no longer have JJP. J-Day is injured, Nana's injured, so we got a new batch of starters. We had Nati and Jalil. We did lose 113 to 69. They're at 2,267. All right, so I'm just going to launch into Sean Kennedy's stat section.
That was real fast.
Okay.
First of all, it's funny. Second of all,
It is.
I would like to bring back the point that we were literally 3 guys down, 2 of them being starters. Let's bring that back around again to the front. 3 guys down, 2.
Even Jalen had started when he was in good health. So any of those 3 dudes started at some point.
Correct.
We'll have much more to say on that. But all right. So here's Sean Kennedy's stats. But it was some of our stats were better.
That's facts. Shockingly.
Our percentage was 39.7, which was 7% higher. Our 3-point percentage was 35.3%, which was 2% higher than the same game.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, our free throws 0.5.
Not good. Not good.
Which was 10% less. Our points in the paint were 26, which was higher. Points off turnovers was 18, which was exactly the same. And chance points was 16, which was double what we had in the same game. Fast break points, we had 10. Bench points, we had 21. Funnily enough, was higher than the Sam game. We had less bench players, but so I guess it all washes out. Total 2. We had 11 offensive boards and 21 defensive. Fouls, we had 23. Not good because that's higher and spread amongst less players, but here we are. We also had several in that. Anywho,
Oh, God.
we had they had 13. We had 5 steals. We had 4 blocks. Our game leaders. So again, our high point was 1 rebound, 2 assists, and 2 steals. We had our boy Robbie with 10 points, 3 rebounds, 1 block, 1 steal. He had every stat. We had with 9 points, 12 rebounds, 1 assist. So close.
Had that double-double. I was rooting for him to get that double-double.
I can't tell y'all how happy that would have made me, but
God.
we got at least 1 more game.
I know. Yeah.
Fingers crossed. And Jalil had 7 rebounds.
He did.
Wait, is that what he had the game before?
I think 7 or 8, yeah.
Just kidding. So 7 rebounds. That was great. Okay. So I do Robism section since this was a TV game. So like we already discussed, he did confirm that Nana had surgery to him, so that's all wonderful and good. I know that really helped lift his spirits, so that's great. One thing he said during warm-ups, I don't think during the game he had on the jersey, but he said during warm-ups in a jersey, and he came out like he was, and he was like, he said a few of their assistants to Tizzy. So that was fun, like that, because I can just imagine. Oh no, strategize, and I love that because listen, if some of these coaches now, like I guess big NBA coaches, and want to like try to spy on our huddle during timeout, like let's mess with their head a little bit in the pregame.
Yeah, I'm here for it.
At one point during the game, Rob said it can't get over quick enough.
He said.
And then he listen, Rob, because I don't even know. Everyone has their grievances, right? That's what it is. But he does such a good job of making petty comments about it, but stating clearly, or if you're paying attention and you know, then like, if you know what I'm saying.
Yes, I get what you're putting down.
Yeah.
Yes.
So there was one point where he said they missed a shot from 3 foot. And like missed again from 3 feet. True. So I really honestly I don't know what tech for, but Rob literally said verbatim, Kyle got a tech while. So I don't know what I don't know.
You know, this game was because here's the thing. We knew going in that it was not the best game. I've already kind of resigned in my head that we were probably not going to win because we were losing Day-Day, Jalen, and we were going against the best who's played lights out all season. An entire team of seniors. So I knew this was going to be a difficult challenge. As Jacqueline went over the stats, yeah, those stats seem pretty. And you know what I mean? Like, but they were better than the Sam Houston game.
They were not indicative of a 44-point loss.
Correct. That's what I was put out so uneloquently.
Yeah.
Is the fact that, yeah, a shit ton. We got our teeth kicked in. But we actually didn't play that bad. UVU is just.
They are. And I'm glad that you said this because I'm probably going to forget all my points, but I would like to preface all of our strengths and grievances with this. And here's the thing. Correct. So first of all, we were down 3 very. This is the best team in the league. No way to mince words. We got our asses handed to
100%.
But I'm not even going to say I'm not terribly or that it was a terrible showing or whatever. We had 2 guys in the starting lineup who, here's the thing, start Derek and Jalil, but absolutely all the confidence in the world. I think they could be great starters. they are not used to starting because have been injured and missed a considerable amount. For one, they haven't gotten the playing time they need in a system, especially Jalil because he's brand new. Fully have the experience and game time and court just to be at the level that they want to be at. And second of all, they haven't gotten to be conditioned to the point that they should be. So I don't want anybody to make any misconceptions that like, oh, well, you know, we were like the players that we have out there playing are not good enough, because I have full confidence that we had in the guys that we had out there. I think they're going to be great players. Our team was not at the level to compete with the number one team, and two of our starters have not had the playing time this season to be up with a number one team or have the time and the experience to play with that. So it's not. I don't think that it's like, oh, we have a B string out there who's not good. Like, they just haven't had the court time because of injury and, you know.
Yeah, I mean, we've been, and we talked about this earlier against the San Francisco throughout the season. Like, we've had to overcome numerous challenges throughout the entire season. I mean, remember, if you go back to the beginning of the season, down, like we're basically going back to that almost, where we have such a small bench. Okay, let me just put this in comparison for you. We have off the bench 3. UV 8 guys came off the bench during that game on Friday versus us. We had 3 guys come off the bench. Trell and Kyle, aka Matt. Dudes available to come in and play minutes and take time off of starters, you know, to give them a break. And we don't have people like that. We do not have 8 people to come off the bench.
And two of our starters have missed a considerable amount. They're just simply not conditioned to the point that they would be if they were playing all season.
And guys to come off the bench.
Yeah, not even close.
You know what I mean? Like, we have 5, maybe 6. No, 5. Like, it is just, we have to kind of, and that's why going into this game, we have my expectations and just realize, like, not saying that this game to steal a win versus the best team in the league and to end the season with 20 wins, but we're already in Vegas. We were like, it wasn't like we needed to win this to be able to make it into Vegas at all. Yes, it would have been nice for the team to win. Yes, it would have been nice for us to get 20 wins. You know what? Like, as much as I hate to say that I'm okay with the loss, because I'm never okay with a loss, but I'm not mad about it. Like, did we look horrible? Yeah, but compared to the movie you put on the court, of course, in comparison, it's going to look like we played. But we really didn't. They're just that much better. And that's just being honest.
Yeah.
So.
No, but I want that mind, because it makes me feel bad that, like, senses to be like, oh, we just put a ragtag line, because that's just not the case. Like,
yeah,
we had only 8 players who I consider all. I could have put any of those 8 guys in the starting. It just so happens that 2 out of the starting 5 have not had the playing time that they should have during the season or another. So, like, we can't hold them to even their full potential. So I don't want anyone to get that. So we had a team that wasn't fully prepared due to not unforeseen, but like unavoidable circumstances, and we played and that's just
Also, such a quick turnaround time. We played hard physical game on Wednesday night that went into extra minutes versus Sam Houston, and they immediately jet off of. We sang the school song. They ran around quick, like hugs to people so fast, and then they literally tunnel so that they could change, shower, do post game, and then hop on, catch a flight the next to get up to Orem. Like,
yeah.
Quick turnaround time between that game and this game. I'm sure fatigue is but I would.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
They got to Utah in the morning on Thursday, and then they play Friday night. Like,
Come on, yeah.
Were they dudes?
Yeah. And so I just would like to this up so we can get on to talking about the game itself and then end it because long. But I just don't want anybody to think exactly what Jacqueline said. A ragtag group out there and said, have fun, do the best. We put the guys out there that, and it wasn't like they just gave up. At no point, any point during that game did that team give up. They were fighting hard time, and they got out to kept just tacking on. Again, what are you going to do? There's nothing. 8 dudes coming off the bench for one team and 3 coming off the bench for another. It's just so unfair. And not saying that that's UV. It's not, but it's just those were so unbalanced during that game that it's just hard. Any other game that we had this season, like it was just an unfair advantage. If that's UVU's fault, they just had a lot of guys. Really good, dude. Shit.
Just, and that one was an oatmeal raisin.
Exactly. Jacqueline, player of the game. Who do you got? It's the same as I got.
Nigel,
Easy. Nigel, 20 points. You already went. He killed it. Last game of the regular season, 0-0. 0 on his jersey, but number 1 in your heart. The Nighthawk, the Nige. 29 minutes, just played again. And could not be happier for his performance. Loved it. So yeah, let's talk about, even though we did get our teeth kicked in by a really good Utah, there were some high points. So let's talk about them real fast.
Nigel hit 1,000 career points in the state.
That is a big one.
That's
100%. Congrats to Nigel on joining the 1,000-point club. 100% deserve it.
very exciting.
Let's see. What else? I have a list.
So, AJ, one of our leading scorers, but a few I made specific notes about because they were so beautiful. He had a nice little steal in the backcourt again. Shows like his tenacity on defense. He is always on. He had a nice little shot. He played great. He not the best on field goal percentage, 4 of 12, but he was 50%. And he missed all 3 of his free throws, which is wild. That's not like him at all.
It's definitely uncharacteristic of AJ for sure.
But he had
yeah, he did. That buzzer 3 that he had was loved it. The only 3 that he made was I love more than a buzzer beater shot. I don't care if it's a layup, a 3, a half court shot. I don't give a shit. Buzzer goosebumps all over. I tell you what.
Me too.
I love it.
Next, I have to talk about our boy Derek. Listen, we love Derek. He's missed quite a bit of playing time from his injury, and I hate this running under, but I love to see him starting and getting some playing time. Because he just needs a little time. Derek is the biggest diamond ever inside that clamshell. We just gotta give it a minute. Give it minutes on the court, and it'll pop right open, baby. Because he almost got a double-double with 12 rebounds, points.
I love to see Derek succeed because, like you said, he deserves it. He fought through surgery to get back on the court. He just to show what he's got, and when he's out there, you know what I mean. It's just hard when you see here 2 minutes here, 2 minutes here. Like you don't really see him get into like a huge. And so when he's out there for longer periods of time, he just needs a little bit of time to get going. And once he's going, he can outrun anyone. He can go the ball better, just as good as anybody. He can obviously lights out. I mean, he's over there out rebounding Jaleel.
Like a lot taller.
You know, let me scroll down real fast and make a comparison here. There was not a single person on Utah Valley's team that had 12 rebounds. The closest was so. Just saying.
I just need to see Derek on my court.
Oh my court.
He is just.
I know.
And I love it so much. And all you'll have to do is read in high school, and you're going to be like, why am I not seeing him more? I hear it from Richard Parton every game. So we got every game. But
yeah,
he's great. And a lot of the basketball mentality that we talk about with Day Day. I watch him play, just from my years of watching how I was as a player, I can tell him, listen, I was not talented or athletic as Derek, but I can see on that he has the same like mind frame that I did when I played. You can tell that he is harder on himself than anyone. So I need him to get more minutes so that he can stop being.
I feel like a lot of the guys are like that for sure. Day and Derek, because they have such, and I feel like anytime Derek and just like with Day, like anytime they're on the court, they're constantly checking out the current situation where they try and slow the game down to their pace. Like, you know, they want to make sure that everyone's like, you know, they're trying to lead the court and just need more playing time, man. Let's
one thing that happens that he's not
aware of
and he knows happening.
Yeah.
And I missed that little metaphor of and a clam, and it's a pearl and a clam, but whatever.
You did. I think you meant a pearl, but I was gonna let it go.
And then I said clam, whatever.
It's okay. You fixed yourself because I didn't want to be that person. Be like, you got that metaphor. Yeah. So Robbie, let's have a game, bud. I was that he was on the court and he was playing hard basketball. Robbie getting a 3.
No, second leading scorer. I did not.
I know. I know. I mean, that 3 from Robbie had me out of my chair. Like there was game, but that was freaking one of them, man. He had that nice 3. He up. I mean, that's what I'm saying. What I was saying earlier about the same. This, I cannot wait to see the 100% Robbie arm wrestler. I cannot, because the season started. So many of the people who are close to the team, people said that this kid is the real deal. He is a full all-around nutbag, like his skills. And so him going down and getting injured was obviously a letdown, I'm sure, for himself, but also for everybody, because I'm pumped to see what this kid could do. And so now starting to see it more and more. And what I'm seeing, has so much Leon Gilmore the third in him. It's nuts. And I more Robbie, more.
We've been making that comparison all season long, and there was no one else I could think of besides Leon. And then I was thinking about it the other day, and I'm like, I don't think Leon ever started for us. Look, out of his
maybe his senior year, maybe.
But look at E-League NBA ball. How many of the dudes who started during his era are playing G League ball? Shannon and Kevon. There's a ton of dudes who started before him who aren't playing anywhere. Robbie, keep going.
Keep fighting, brother. Keep fighting. See, Rati had a nice jumper. First half I took a lot of notes, but then second half I just kind of yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I had positive wise. Yeah. What about you?
Same.
Okay, cool. Second half.
Ends with the airing of grievances. You people, now you're going to hear about it. You.
Okay, so I don't know where to begin. I don't want this to last forever because I'm sure let's just wrap. So, first of all, angle whenever they come out of and breaks where it's like up in the ceiling, that's got to go. That was driving me bonkers. I said, what is this? Why is there a camera all the way up in the freaking rafters? That's with that. Secondly, no score bug, no score widget for at least 5.
You know what? I started complaining about that. I'm like, I don't know the score. I can't see the shot clock. I can't see the fouls. I can't see timeouts left. No. Then when they finally gave us the score, I was like,
take it back off.
please
I know.
I need to see it. Let me just cheer for the guys and not know what the score is.
I know. But yeah, so they then when they tried to up, it knocked the feet off and we lost like a whole minute of the game because they were trying to bug off up. So that was nice. Love. Okay, so enough about that.
Game, you should kind of working, but
you should get that shit going before the game. First, right off the bat, 3 turnovers in a row. 3. Immediately turn the ball over on our. We foul the Wolverines immediately, and then right after they shoot the free turnover, back to the Wolverines, and then again turnover. When you're watching the turnover after turnover after turnover. I'm like, holy shit, we're going to have. Believe me, I was shocked as shit when I pulled up the damn stat. 18.
I definitely thought it would be over 20.
I like I said, I was thinking this was going to be an astronomical. We had 18 and they had 13. Not far off, but still, I was pleasantly, but still too many turnovers. Especially in the very beginning of the game when it was like boom, 3 in a row, boom, boom, boom. Like, man, rough. Shout out to the announcers for calling one of their players Timmy Two Hands. Slam dunked it. That was the lamest fucking joke I've ever. Like,
I can't.
They're like, ooh, Tommy Two Hands.
Like, how many? I mean,
because he two-hand slammed it, and I'm like, why can't you just say two hands better than Tommy Two Hands?
But that makes me think, like, what is he supposed to? I don't know.
I don't know. They were trying to be funny, and I just maybe it falls for other people, but it didn't fall for me. Yeah, and I made comments like, it's just, it's like it's just hard not having Day and Nana down in there. I'm not getting offensive boards, not like we were getting them with them, but man, it just we didn't have nothing falling. And when Trell was on the ground and he got up limping, I thought I'd have to fuck some shit up. I said, not today. I can't deal with any more people, especially Trell. I cannot deal with it, and thank God he was fine. He came back in the game later, but was spent. That's exactly the moment I stopped taking notes.
Yep. So I feel like in our preface of this game, I already most of our grievances, and I really don't have any specific with our guys because listen, I think we did what we could. But I have a general grievance that I'm gonna minutes exactly. No, I'm just kidding.
I'll time you. Go. I already know where she's going.
When I say here's the thing, anyone who knows me, number one, knows I do much about the officiating often, and I do not ever officiating in a manner that I am. That's what decided the game, because I just don't believe that, and I don't have. Again, my dad was a referee. I played basketball growing up. I know that's not that. But here's the thing, and we've gone into this before. To us, the very first season that we podcasted, I literally stood up and read it word for word, verbatim from the referee book. The first responsibility of the most important priority is for them to maintain safety. Okay? So my problem with this game, and listen, it goes, well, I'm not pointing fingers any which way, because listen, we got 3 players. But when it's games like they're very heated, because listen, our guys are struggling. We just had one of them wheeled off in a wheelchair off the court in the game. And well, we got a group of guys put together who are all good players. Experience this season, as we already pontificated on for 20 minutes. We're not. We've got a good team, but the team can't for various reasons, and we're struggling. We're playing the number 1 team in 44 points. Okay, not a fun time for anyone on our team. And it's getting heated both ways. Which I just don't. Reasons to talk shit if you're winning by 44 points, but what do I know? Just saying. at that point, like, you're just, what's it called? Beating a
Really are.
So the referees supposed to be the authorities regulating this game, and they quite clearly have no control whatsoever because there's shit talking and instigating and every right and center on both sides, and the refs are just letting it. So it continues, and it's clear they didn't. Because if you have to call that many texts, then it's not getting better to begin with. And that because it gets to a point where it becomes a point of, it's not unsportsmanlike conduct on both sides because the refs are allowing it. Then both sides keep doing it, and it just keeps building higher, and nobody wants to budge. And it, because if you don't control the game, then one person, it's not even going to be about who started it, but one person with the wrong person by saying the wrong thing or giving too hard of a push, and then it's just, which I made that point, and then unfortunately I was proven game because it went to shit because it wasn't controlled from the get-go. My final complaint on that is when I air these grievances on social media and someone who's literally on our team, let me just make that clear. I say on our team as has to try to come at me. Accounts, everybody knows. Listen, if I'm going to say something, you're going to know it's me saying something. But Astros fan, whatever, who's on his fifth burner account, at me and say you shouldn't be complaining about the refs because coach is going to mention bad look, and the refs had given up. It was such a blowout, and I'm like, no, for a reason, because blowout or it's about the safety and the fairness of the game and the guys being like. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the score is. They should call something either way. And then you're going to try to tell me, well, coach is not going to say that in the locker room. And I'm like, locker room because he's the coach and he shouldn't be trying to blame a 44-point loss on. By the way, I'm also not doing, but I'm a spectator, so I can bring. And I hope that he's watching this because he's now been blocked on Twitter, so you can hear it here from my mouth because I don't need to create to try to stir up shit with my own fans.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is damn. I don't think Jacqueline's gone off on in a while like that, and I'm so happy because normally it's. And for once, I can take a seat because she has it. And conversate about that because you literally just said the entire thing. The only thing is I am beyond pissed that the freaking UVU player didn't get a tech for hanging. Did he get a tech for hanging on?
Absolutely, he did not. And
all right.
Again, was and let's use them.
I'm just saying if and that was SFA like Robbie or Nigel or whoever and they hung on the basket and the rim for as long as that man, we would have been teed up within a millisecond.
Two things. He chinned up
and swung.
And big down. And there was not nary an SFA player in sight because it was like, unfortunately, and I will own that and say it, there was no SFA player under him. Just rubbing it in our face. We know we're behind by 40 points.
Yeah, like we're aware. We appreciate it. Thank you very much. It's just insane that the fact that did not matter if we're fucking up. If we're up by 40, they're up by 40, we're winning. they're winning by 2 or it's in double overtime with 30 seconds left on the clock. Shit. The rules are the rules. What the frick are we doing? The end.
Rules are the rules for a reason. Point, and anybody who wants to bury their head in the sand and miss that point, sorry. But there are rules set in place. Sportsmanlike conduct, because guess what? If you're winning by 44 points and you're unsportsmanlike conduct, the other team's going to just the way it works. And so these things are placed to try to keep it sportsmanlike and keep tensions at a low, controlling the game.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
why have referees at all? Let it be a fucking free-for-all.
and like I mean, I got to smooth down my eyebrows to like collect myself to even say that. And I should not have to explain myself 1 million more times. But as a daughter of a referee, I can praise for that, because that is their main charge, is to keep it safe. And sportsmanlike is one of the first pillars to keeping it. And if you don't have control of the game, it's going to be mayhem. It's not hard, and make it known. And if you do, the player know, one toe out of line and I'm out of here. I gotta not do that. And then it keeps control of the game. But at this point,
it hits a boiling point, and you saw a row.
They aren't respecting the officials.
No.
It's like a comparison would be if you don't, they can get away with stuff. Well, guess what? They're going to push the limits. They're going to keep doing it because they haven't disciplined for it. So they're going to keep doing it. And like, I just that is of watching a referee, because I can tell you one thing, like, that the coaches and the players knew what the level of respect did, and they did not test it, or they out of there, because like I can tell you other dad did so your referee college ran one of the local chapters for high school, and so like a bigger playoff game or whatever, and there was a local coach who, when I was in high school, and my dad referees one of his games, and he comes home the game, and he's like, "Oh yeah," like, what? Please tell me you didn't. I was like humiliated, but it's like, listen, he made it very clear what the standard was, and if you stepped over, out of there, bye.
Yeah.
See you later.
I mean, all points and signs point. That's all I gotta say. My last grievance about it, because it continually is kind of depressing. We had 26 points in the paint. 56. They had 34 points. They had 46 bench points and 28 points off of turnovers to our 18. It was just rough. It was just a rough game to watch. We've talked about it. I don't want to continue talking about it because it's just going to make my brain hurt. Rough game to watch. Is honestly, it's one of those games we're just going to have to can't put it out of our brains and move on. Didn't happen. It didn't exist. It didn't happen. Don't even understand. What happened? And so we just have to focus on and what we can control is this next game and how we prepare for it. And that's all that they can do. And that's all that they can do moving forward. this game on Vegas, which we'll talk about in a second, it's very winnable. So the team that we have at the moment. So we just got to think about that. So wrapping things up. So game summary. What do we have to describe the game?
Ooh, I didn't think of one for this game.
Oh, I just said wolf. Wolf.
I'm going to say because that explains the officiating.
Yeah. And exactly right. I mean, all of the stuff that happened, the extracurricular activities and stuff that happened. If the referees would have controlled the game earlier, it's pretty possible that those extracurricular activities would have never occurred. So tensions boil over, and what the fuck do you expect with a bunch of 20-something-year-old boys who are frustrated, pissed off, on edge? What do you expect? Right? For any of the things that happened during the game or after to happen. It, and I'm not saying that that is what should have happened or that they were in their saying, like, if the referees would have put a pin in it when they should have, events probably wouldn't have occurred. Just flat out.
If they would have asserted their authority from the quite literally, then be in mind, and the here on both sides would not during the game would not have occurred up to that level.
Yeah, I agree.
That's my opinion.
Okay, so regular season's over. We're done. It's a wrap, baby. We end the season 19, and we're heading to WAC Vegas. That's in WAC Vegas minus New Mexico is in. Like, every team that's in the WAC is in minus them because they've been DQ'd. Reasons that are their own making.
They DQ themselves for
multiple reasons. They did come out with awards tonight, and actually our very own Day Hall was named WAC second team. So I'd like to give a quick congratulations Day Hall for getting on team. He led the WAC in FGP.
I love him so much. I am him first team.
Me too. I think he absolutely first team. I'm just glad that he got recognition somewhere. Deserves recognition. He had 13.1 average points per game. He had 16.7 rebounds per game, or I'm sorry, 6. And his field goal percentage was, they have to use a weird font. I can't read it. Is that 69 or so? That's like 50, so basically 60% field goal percentage. Day Hall, congrats on being named to the All WAC. Should have been first team, but I digress.
Yeah. Nothing to sneeze at for sure. It's great.
Definitely not.
Day Hall play any of those first team. Let me see what happens.
Embarrassing. He will embarrass them all. Right, exactly. So the ending standings in the as follows. So Utah Valley with their overall loss record is 24-7. Like I said, their winning percentage at least 8%. They played great. They had a better at 83%. Just good. It's good. Again, weird because of the whole New Mexico thing. Not every games or 31 games. Some teams played 20. And so that's just how the cookie crumbles. So Sam Houston with overall record of 23-6. Southern and Seattle U, I guess, tied for third at 20-11. in fourth place at 11-7 in the WAC conference, and 19-11 earlier. It was 19-12. My bad. Grand Canyon 11, Tarleton at 16-15. Same thing with California Baptist. UTA 11-20, Abilene Christian 13-16, 15-16, Utah Tech 13-18, and of course DQ'd themselves for many reasons, but they ended this. I mean, they weren't going to be going to WAC Vegas anyway. Not now. But moving on to the resume seeding. So the final resume follows Sam Houston with the number 1 seed, Utah Valley number 2 seed, Southern Utah with the number 3 seed, Seattle U number 4 seed, Grand Canyon number 5, Austin number 6, Tarleton number 7, California Baptist, Abilene Christian number 10, UTRGV number 11, Utah Tech 12, UTA. So what that means is we'll be playing the number 11 team, Utah Tech, at WAC Vegas at the Michelob Ultra Arena.
Be our first time at the Michelob Ultra Arena because last time we played until Wednesday and it was at the Orleans Arena.
At Orleans Arena. So yeah.
Check it.
Yeah, I'll be see a different arena. I'm not 100% sure where that one's located, but we'll find.
Google Maps will tell us.
We will Uber there. No. But yeah, so we'll get in. This is kind of like the basic layout of our and leaving Tuesday morning from Houston, going in Denver for a few hours or so, and then leaving Denver and around 3:30, something. Yeah, somewhere in the 3 hour. Don't really know exactly when. We will ship over to the Orleans because that is night. And then from there, we will do the Rio for the rest of the time that we are there. Somebody told me, I'll save that for after. After that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep that to ourselves. But yeah, the ladies are playing Wednesday at the Wednesday late morning, afternoon. I have to look at the schedule day, so we'll be there for that game as well.
I think they're playing it.
Okay.
Hold on, let me keep talking. I'll check. I'm pretty positive it's new.
Okay. And so anyway, it's just Oh yeah, we'll be there regardless. So anyway, very exciting time. Very excited to go to Vegas again. We'll be there for the guys' game and obviously the girls' game. And however long, if the guys go all the way, fuck yeah. If the girls go all the way for one game, fuck yeah. We're staying until Monday, so it doesn't matter.
Wednesday at noon.
Okay, perfect. Wonderful. We can wake up on Wednesday at the Orleans. And, you check out, leave our bags at the Bell team, and then from there go and check into the Rio. So that works.
Got our day planned.
Damn. That's our day, baby. Yeah, so that's good stuff. But yeah, so we're excited to go back to Vegas and maybe go and visit some places we didn't get to on the first time. This will be Jacqueline's second trip to Vegas. And so there were a bunch of places, humongous, as you all know. There were a bunch of places and hotels that I didn't get to. Just ran out of time. There's just so much going on that we just ran out of time. And so I'm there this time, maybe go some different places to eat. So we're going to have a fun little time. We have a couple things already in mind that we want to do. Just got to find the times to do it. But man, we're there's anyone else that's listening from any team out there, I don't care if it's Utah or whoever, if you're going, let us know. We can hang out. Most of the time.
And the day you catch me on.
That's facts. Ready to go, and we hope for a good showing for both the Lumberjacks and the Lady Jack. And so, ready. Just gotta pack and get there. Pack and get there. That's literally on my list. It says pack, have fun. Like that. Those are my three last things to do. We are ready and we are pumped. We want to thank over the season. Can't believe it's already pretty much the end. Arrived, regardless of how, SFA does, and be prouder of the team. Both guys and girls played very well. Obviously a lot of challenges and adversity from, especially on the guy side. Really excited to see what happens in WAC Vegas. Even if neither team, knock on wood, make it further than just the one, all hell. And just excited for March Madness. I mean, watching today during some of the other tournaments that are happening, I was getting the willies watching some of these teams play. I was watching Cougars and Memphis game, and man, it ended on a buzzer beater. Again, you know how I love some buzzer beaters. So, ready.
A little note about literally, like, as I was rolling back into town today from the Mavericks game, and I'm sorry, this is going to be a crush load against it. My dad sends me this link. So, Caitlin Clark's triple-double leads, which was over Ohio State, and I was dropped off and get back home. So I just saw the headline, and I texted, that girl is insane. Because I've already seen the girl play. I know it's crazy. Like, I'm not in a position to do it right now. He immediately texts back. She really video. And I'm like, Maddie off, I will watch it in a second.
Yeah. It was a heartbreaker, I'll tell you what. But insane performance.
I'll look her up. Triple-double. This girl was shooting threes from where Trell shoots.
God bless, man.
I'll send you the video. She was literally just like, and pull up jumper three from where Trell shoots, like, guarded. Wild.
Yikes. Love to see it, man.
Time of the year.
Love to see it. Oh my gosh. Thank you guys so much for following. Whenever we get back from Vegas, we'll do our final wrap-up podcast of this. We'll talk about the Vegas trip. We'll talk about the entire season. We'll give out our season awards for the whole team. And yeah.
One of my favorites.
Put a nice pretty bow and then send everybody off on a, have a great season and see you in fucking October post. So
Maybe we'll do some little live updates in Vegas,
I'm sure we will. I'm sure I'll have enough drinks in me to be like, let's go live. Boy. Anyway. All right. And we love you. And I'm sure you'll see plenty of us posting nonstop. So see you on Tuesday. Hope you have a great night. And as always, Axe and Jacks.